Good morning, fifth graders. I hope you're doing or having a great day so far, depending on when you pull up my video. But we have been working on dividing decimals, so I'm hoping that you found yesterday's lesson to be fairly easy. Of course, you guys can always see me during office hours. So today, my office hours are a little bit shorter because I have a meeting at 1. So I will be available, though, from 12:30 to 1, okay? Actually, I may get on a little bit earlier, maybe like 12:15 to 12:45, okay? So if you need me, you can come see me. We are going to work from our green pages today, so that will be page 355, 366, I think. I'm going to pull it out right now. And then you have ST Math. You have a flip grid to do. And then for science, you're going to do the same thing you did yesterday, but with the food chains. So the link is in Canvas, but remember to click on to play the video and then to test yourself afterwards to see how well you understand food chains. And we learn about food chains because they're really important to our ecosystem. Without that food chain, our ecosystem would not thrive. And then, of course, keep working on your ecosystem project that is coming up at the end of the month. So you want to make sure that you have that ready to go. And trying to think if there's anything else for you guys. This is just a reminder that tomorrow we will not be meeting live. I have meetings all day for professional development through Springs. So you will be doing a recorded lesson just like right here and right now. Okay. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get started on our lesson. So we're practicing dividing a decimal by a whole number. So let's look what pages these are. 355, let me check. Yep, 355, 356. So let's go ahead and do that together. We have an example here, and they use the bar model. So the temperature is 4.8 degrees. That is the total of the bar model. If the temperature rises by an equal amount each hour, how many degrees did it rise each hour? So that's why there's a question mark here. And then you can represent this with a bar model, right, which we have here. And this is a total of 6 hours, okay? So then if you divide 4.8 by 6, you are going to get 0.8 because 6 times 8 is 48. But remember, this is 48 tenths. So then the answer is 8 tenths. Okay, so let's go ahead and do number 1. Let me get my handy dandy pen here and see if it works for us today. Okay, look at the example. Suppose the temperature rises 5.4 degrees in 6 hours. Complete the steps to find 5.4 divided by 6. So we're looking at 5.4 divided by 6, and we're thinking, okay, that is going to be 6 times what number? So I'm going to put a 6 here, times what number? And we want it to equal 5.4. Oh, this is the program that doesn't like it. So let me go ahead and put it in. I forgot this is the program that doesn't like my handy dandy pen that gets to write on my screen. Okay, so we just turned our division problem now into a multiplication problem. So we turned it into 6 times what number is equal to 5.4. So 5.4 is actually equal to 54 tenths, which means it would be 6 times what number is 54 tenths. So 6 times what? Think about your multiplication. If you need your multiplication chart, make sure you have that. So 6 times what tenths is going to equal 54 tenths? So I'm going to put 54 here because we already know that answer. So 6 times what equals 54? 6 times 9. So 6 times 9 is 54, but remember this is 9 tenths, okay? So here's our tenths. So that means our 9 is going to be in the tenths place. That means there's going to be a decimal right here and then a 0 in front. So 0.9. Okay, number 2. Use numbers from the box. Write the number of tenths and hundredths in each decimal. So 3.5 is equal to 35 tenths. And then 3.5 is equal to how many hundredths? So that means my 5 has to end in the hundredths place. So 3 goes right next to it. So that means my decimal point will be right here in order for my 5 to be in the hundredths place, and then the 0. So that was this one right here. Let's cross that out. I'm going to cross out that one. Okay, so 79 hundredths is equal to how many tenths? So that means my 9 is going to be in my tenths place, which means that's going to be right next to a decimal because the tenths place is right next to the decimal. And then 7 becomes my 1, which is 7.9 right here. Let's cross that one out. And then 79 hundredths is the same thing as 79 hundredths. So because the 9 has to end in the hundredths place, which it already does. So the answer is 0.79. And there's that one. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Do you guys see what I did wrong? I was looking at my answer key. You guys have that in Canvas to help you. But it's that, so I didn't have to write it in the decimal form. I needed to put it in the hundredths form, which would be, so I'm going to write it right here. So it'd be 35 hundredths. And then this is what it looks like in decimal form. And then this is 79 hundredths, which that's what it looks like in decimal form. Did I do that right? No, 350. I did that one wrong. It's 350. Even teachers can make mistakes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty much done with this distance learning. I want to be face to face. I want to work with you guys, and this is difficult. All right. Okay, let's continue. Number 3, número 3. I'm going to move my camera up. All right, complete the steps for using an area model to solve 1 and 56 hundredths divided by 12. So 1 and 56 hundredths divided by 12 is the same thing as 12 times a number that we don't know yet is going to equal 1.56. So I've just changed my division problem into a multiplication problem. So 1.56 is also the same as 156 hundredths. Okay, so now we're looking at this area model. So we know that 12 times a number is equal to 156. So we're going to split that up, and 12 times 10 is going to be what? 120. So since they put 10 here, I'm going to put 10 above. And since they put 3 here, I'm going to put 3 above. And then I multiplied 10 times 12, which you guys said was 120. And then 12 times 3 is 36. So now we're going to subtract 156 minus 120 here. And then we're going to get 6, 3, and that's it, because 1 minus 1 is 0. And then over here, I'm going to take 36 minus 36 which is 0. So then the answer is, what's 10 times 3? 30? Is it 30? No, not 10 times, sorry. 10 plus, our area model plus 10 plus 3 is 13, yes. So then our answer is 13 hundredths. So 13 hundredths, it's going to look like 0. Come on, decimal point 1, 3. So I'm gonna be honest, I do not like the area model with division. It doesn't make sense to me. I do like using multiplication to divide, and I do like our standard algorithm to divide, but I do not like the area model. So if you understand this, more power to you. If you don't, no worries. Do what you know, right? Okay, number 4. Connor earns $9 an hour for yard work. He raked leaves one afternoon and earned $29.25. How many hours did he rake leaves? Show your work. So I'll split this in half, and I'll do it the multiplication way, and I'll do it the standard algorithm way. So I'm going to draw my line here. So I'm going to do 9 times what equals 29.25. Okay. So we could do it, so like 9 times 3 is close to 29, it's 27, but then we're going to have 2 left over. So I can do 9 times 3 is equal to 27. But then 9 minus 7 is 2, so that means that I still need to figure out what is 9 times what is equal to $2.25. Okay, so then I could still figure that out, and if I take this away, I could still figure out that, okay, we already have 3 as one of our answers, so I'm going to circle that. And then we know that 9 can go into 22 2 times, so that's another answer. And then I feel like this is going to be really confusing though. I feel like I just want to do standard algorithm because there's just so many different steps. This one isn't an easy one because there keeps being like leftovers. I think this would work if we had like our normal 9s, so like 9 into $27. Like if it was 27.27, that would be easy, right? 3.3. But now that we have some like leftovers, I feel like, well, because like when we get this leftover, so if we were to subtract 18, which that's what it is, which would be like 1.8, we would have 4 left over. Whoops, I can't cross it out. So we would have 4 left over. And so right now, and then 9 goes into 45 5 times, so then it would be 9 times 5. So far we have 3, 2, and 5. So 3, 2, and 5 are the answers. And then we have 2 decimal space, so I'm thinking 3.25 is the answer, but it's there. Let me see, let me put in a decimal point. 3.25 is the answer because we had the numbers 3, 2, and 5. And then we have 2 decimal spaces because there are 2 decimal spaces here. But let's do the standard algorithm and check that work real quick. So we're going to have 9 on the outside, and then we're going to have 29.25 on the inside. I'm gonna extend my line here. Not gonna let me do it. Okay, it's not gonna let me do it. Okay, well, we already know that 9 is gonna go into 29 3 times. This would be a 0 because 9 will not go into 2. And 9 times 3 is 27, so I'm gonna subtract that. And we get 2 left over. And then I'm gonna bring down my 2 here. And I do have a decimal here, so my decimal is gonna go straight up. I know that looks like a line, but that's supposed to be a decimal. And then 9 goes into 22 2 times, and that's 18. And we're gonna subtract. And we get, if I cross that out, that becomes a 1. And that becomes a 12. So that's 4. Okay. And then we bring down the 5. And then 9 goes into 45 5 times. And 9 times 5 is 45. And we subtract. And you get 0 left over. Okay. So we were right, 3.25. So whichever way works for you, please do it. You know, Common Core, we're just supposed to show you different ways, but you've got to use the way that works for you, that you understand, that is going to help you to understand the dividing decimals, okay? So please, if you do not understand this part, but you understand standard algorithm, do it that way. Okay, number 5 you're going to do on your own. This is going to be your exit ticket. It says look at problem